Hello everyone, and welcome to Straight Chilling. Each week we watch and review a horror film for your entertainment. You can send all questions and comments to straightchillingpodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget to keep chilling.
Yeah, we straight chillin', serial killing. 5 cold feelings on the mind, got you reeling. 5-star ratings from the floor to the ceiling. If you get your 1 star, no time for feelings. Got a demon DJ, all the 1s and 2s. By the name Elzebub, so don't get confused. So grab a seat by the fire, roast them all in 2. And prepare to hear the legend of the Straight Chillin' crew.
What up, nerds? Welcome to a very futuristic episode of Straight Chilling. My name's Bob, and I'll be your host for this evening. This is episode number 248, recorded on Sunday, December 22nd, 2019. Yet again, we've been going all day, motherfuckers. We're talking all day long. This show's not going to air until January 6th of 2020. Whoa. So strap in. We're talking about a little something called Bigfoot Monster Mystery. It's weird. What?
Nothing.
Wait, okay. It's like, that's definitely what it's called, right? Because people are looking at me weird. Maybe I'm just weird.
I'm just waiting to hear those great tunes you've got attached to this.
Oh, that's what you want?
Sasquatch was real.
Sasquatch.
There we go.
Sasquatch Monster Mystery. Before we get into it, let me introduce everyone else on the show. First up, calling in from the dining room table, Randy Gandy Jalandy.
Oh, I didn't realize we had a Sasquatch in the house.
Sasquatch?
It possibly can't be
We're
duplicated.
communicating.
It's impossible.
It's impossible to duplicate those with a human voice.
The linguist people say you can't replicate
All
it.
the
linguist
professionals.
people.
The linguists.
Linguismists.
We got them on speed dial. They
So what's
said-
up, Randy?
They
Hey.
said no.
Hey guys, what's going on?
you
Bigfoot's
doing?
real and everything's cool.
We got him.
That's
We got them, people.
We got him.
we got old Soju also calling in from the dining room table.
What up? It's your boy.
What's up?
Soju.
Snack stains?
Snacky snake.
Sleepy stains?
Sausage stains.
Sausage stains.
Dude, doo-doo stain supplement. But apparently.
That's
A
more
little on the
practical.
nose with that one, but all right.
And last but not least, from the dining room table, Becky. What's up, Becky?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good.
Great.
You ready to talk about some Bigfoot shits?
Can't wait.
Cool.
This is like, 3 years in the works?
Oh yeah,
For
this has been a
production.
long time coming.
Because eventually you come around to the droppings of Bigfoot.
Yes.
That's what we're
Eventually.
talking
Eventually.
Droppings.
Eventually, we come around to it.
We want to start the decade off right.
Yes.
This is the only way.
The
We want-
only thing worthy of the first episode of this decade is Bigfoot Monster Mystery.
It's
We're forced to reckon with it.
Possibly the second greatest decade of horror ever to exist.
Possibly.
That we're entering.
To
and
be
this-
seen.
And this is how
Possibly.
we start it.
it's a
With this
possibility.
movie.
Oh, God, yes, come with me.
These are too perfect. I'm upset.
We're leading you into the future.
I think I'm personally triggered. Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Oh, fuck.
boy.
Well, before we get into the main event, let's go ahead and handle some housekeeping real quick. At this point, the January poll pick has ended. There's a winner. It's probably Scream, but I don't know
Everybody
that.
changed
But
their vote.
it's
We all know there was a coup.
It's probably
a
Scream.
silent coup.
Also, at this point, the February poll pick is up, and that's a thing that we don't know about yet. So you can vote on that. Go vote on that. It's there, but I don't know what it is.
How do you vote, Bob?
Go to our Patreon website,
Yes.
Straight Chilling, or patreon.com/Straight Chilling Podcast. And if you support us at the $5 level or above, you can vote on a movie we're going to be talking about this February. There's going to be 3 movies you can vote on, and they are something, something, and something else.
Yes.
Right.
So
Presumably, you're all hearing us now on your Bumble app, since the future is now, and
Your
we're
Bumble
presuming everything.
Damn.
Yeah, that's those are things that are happening on Patreon. What's going on with the Bracket of Blurred?
So we are entering the new year, and round 1 has officially finished. If you didn't know, we have been conducting our Bracket of Blood to determine what is the greatest horror film.
Whoa. That chief bud's getting at you, buddy.
Quick, get him a shot of Malort.
Oh, give me some Malort.
Oh,
What is
Lord.
the greatest horror film of last decade? We are now in a
It's
new
over.
decade.
It's over.
2010.
We got some tough matchups. These are all the winners that came from the previous divisions in round 1. So, Randy, what are some of the matchups we're going to be looking at coming into this round 2?
Par exemple, there is in the Killers bracket, we have a couple this week, such as Get Out versus Green Room. We also have, The Invitation versus Do Not Breathe. Don't breathe for the brevity's sake.
Do not breathe.
And then in the that's not it, but then we're moving on. Just for example, in the monsters category, we also have Shin Godzilla versus It Follows, as well as Train to Busan versus The Shape of Water, which is one of the harder ones for
I have
me.
a question real quick. You said the monsters category would be Get Out and Green Room?
No, I said the Killers
that's the
category.
Killers.
Maybe
I
if
was
I
like-
did, I misspoke.
The monsters are like the Nazis and the white people.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
like, I just don't get it. It's like the same
Yes.
thing.
That's
No.
the same.
Okay.
Yeah, so that
makes more sense.
Last time in round 1, we had like 4 movies going head to head in each poll. Now we're slimming down. It's
One-on-ones.
Yeah, 1v1, and it's going to get a lot harder from here on out. So help us decide. Go to straightchillingpodcast.com where you can find all the new polls. You can vote there. And those will be live until Friday at 11:30 p.m. That's when the polls will close Eastern time this week. Eastern time.
Just this week and every week thereafter.
Yes.
Yep, all the weeks, all the time.
This house is kept.
It's been kept. Let's go ahead and talk about what we've been watching the past few hours.
Hey gang, what you been watching?
Randy, what you been watching?
Well, I finally did, as of recording, catch up on Watchmen. I have finished watching The Watchmen. My watch has ended. And
Bob said he liked it. What did you think,
I
Randy?
thought that it became dumb.
it was doo-doo brown.
People be tripping.
I don't know, man. The thing that really
Rob
strikes
said
me...
dumb nerds last time, I think. Just stupid fucking
Yeah.
rowdy nerds.
Damn.
Man, Rob sounds harsh.
Yeah.
No, I thought that, I was really kind of into it for a little bit, and there were certainly some good episodes, and it was fun for what it was, but, I mean, I had hopes. I had been kind of led to believe at the beginning that the substance would keep up with the action pace.
So you had
And it really
high apple
didn't.
pie in the sky hopes?
I did. High apple pie. To me, it's like in the comics, the original Watchmen comics, sort of, they're coming from a superhero comic place and then sort of elevating that genre and sort of adding real level, a real level of complexity to a sort of silly cartoonish topic. Whereas this show kind of did the opposite. It started from somewhat complex ideas and some set pieces, and some of the things seemed like they were leading to something more complex, but it ended up kind of being cartoonish, and the villains were very obvious and didn't have a lot going on by the end of it. And it just seemed like it was a missed opportunity by the end in some ways. But I did still overall enjoy it. I don't think it was a waste of time, but I don't know. I kind of allowed myself to think it could be more than it ended up being. So yeah, that's really it. I don't want to spoil a whole lot because there is a lot to spoil.
Sounds like it's your fault.
Okay, yeah, it's my fault. Damon Lindelof is a god who cannot be responsible for anything.
That's better. Thank
Rob.
you. Thank you. Soju, what you been watching?
I had a ton of time on the plane watching some movies. I watched one Christmas movie getting ready for this season. It was Anna and the Apocalypse, which came out 2018. Mm-hmm. And I didn't see it when it came out, and it was on the plane. And the thing is I feel like I really would have enjoyed the movie if it weren't for the musical numbers.
Huh.
Because I felt like the musical number, like the tones were too off for me. Like they really leaned into that like High School Musical style of like.
I didn't know that about this movie.
It is, yeah. It's like this musical, but and like the actors, like they do a good enough job. It's like a British like apocalypse with zombies or whatever, and the kids, they're in high school, and they'll just like bust out into songs. But the songs, they're not like tongue in cheek, or they're not trying to be like it's legit like High School Musical style musical, and I just like couldn't get into that aspect of it. But then it's not all singing. Then they just do their regular story and they're surviving, and like it's like pretty good, actually, pretty decent enough. And that's just like, man, I feel like I would have really liked it a lot more had there not been those musical numbers in there. Yeah,
Not a big Glee guy.
yeah.
No, I made it to the second song and turned
Oh,
it
you
off.
couldn't do it.
No.
Yeah.
It's that feeling you get when your brain tries to let
It's
your
so,
heart
yeah.
get in its pants.
It's unfortunate because I felt like I don't know. On the other end of that, I watched the new Lion King movie. They did like the redo or whatever, and some of the effects were cool. It's so weird to me where you have this blueprint already, like this classic, but it just like all the soul is gone. And not only that,
Thanks,
Billy
Walt.
Eichner's still in there. So.
not only that, because a lot, like even like Mufasa, like it's the same voice, and like a lot of those aspects, like the songs are the same and stuff like that. But it's so weird because it feels like things just happen. It feels like from a story like standpoint, like they can't. There's like no rhythm of like storytelling. It's literally just like things happen, and things happen, and it's so weird when you already have this like blueprint laid out for you, and you're like almost going like step for step of like what happened, but it just feels so soulless, and like the beats of storytelling are just not there. It just
You must be new to Disney.
well, no, because it's so weird. Because on the flip side of that, I watched Die Hard, which is a fantastic movie because like the beats are so on point, like story wise, like just like the pacing and everything like that. And I was just like going between those two movies. I was just like, man, this other one, it just like things just happen. Whereas like, man, back in the day, Die Hard, it was just like the storytelling is so like perfect. Because it's not like it's kind of got its own cheese and stuff like that, but it's just so well written and so well acted and so well paced that it's just like this amazing classic. And it was just weird comparing it to this new remake of Lion King.
Yeah.
It
It looked real bad.
Yeah. It actually like looked cool. Like, I mean, from a visual, but yeah.
No, it did.
See, I thought that's what did not attract me to it. at
Really?
all. Yeah.
It is not.
Animals don't talk.
Guys, did you know that they faked?
I guess
those
you've never
animals?
seen
What?
Homeward Bound, okay?
Little movie called.
A little documentary called Homeward Bound.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's.
yeah, those are some movies that I watched on the old plane.
You ever seen a show called Mr. Ed? Thank you.
Dr. Doolittle.
Dr. Doolittle.
Hey, Becky.
Hey.
What you been watching?
Well, not a whole lot recently, but we went to Disney a couple days ago.
Oh.
Yeah, and we went to the new Pandora World.
Ooh.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty awesome. It was like Andy went with me so we can jump in, but I've never seen Avatar, but
Isn't that like in the Magical Kingdom section? Or no, not the Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Magical Animal Kingdom.
Magical Animal Kingdom.
but like the effects they used like
Manimal.
were pretty cool because you felt really little. This huge overpass thing, the big root tree thing.
The floating islands look
Oh.
pretty legit.
Really?
Yeah, it was really cool. Couldn't go on any rides because the waits were like 2 hours.
Yeah. Like, I've never, like, Disney, I guess, just doesn't have a down season anymore, period.
But it was pretty cool. It was neat to look at, fun to look around, cool plants and stuff. Like some
Yeah.
dude was like rubbing a plant like sculpture and it made
Hell
noises
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
it made noises like,
Weird.
yeah, it was sexual.
Be prepared to be bedazzled.
So yeah, we did that. I've also been watching a lot of baking shows on
Oh,
Food Network.
Nice.
So, been doing that too.
You learned about some rapping too, didn't you?
Yeah, watched a wrapping paper. It's called the Rap Battle, I think. It's about people who are wrapping
course it is.
paper enthusiasts, and they are on a competition for the best wrapping.
Wow.
And it's pretty sad.
Never.
It's pretty sad.
Do they get kicked off the island?
They do get
There's
kicked
an
off.
island.
Yeah. I literally don't have
misfit
anything
toys.
to say about it. Yeah.
Island of misfit rapping stars.
They're great rappers, but no one needs anything wrapped that much ever. So
Do
it's
you
not
know what?
practical.
Next year they should have a special season where they have
mean this
rappers that rap.
That'd be cool.
Yes, this year of 2020.
Yeah, I want to see
Rappers
I want to see
rapping.
Coolio try and wrap some Christmas gifts
while he's
He
dropping
can't.
some bars.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
can't.
While dropping some bars next to fucking
Like
Chameleonaire or some shit.
Like-
Yes.
Candy
These
bars?
are rappers' names.
These are rappers' names.
Chameleonaire. Chameleonaire. Dropping bars. Dropping Snickers bars.
Yes.
Welcome
To your stockings.
to the horror cast. Here we go.
They should be rapping bars
Should be-
while dropping
Oh,
bars.
wow.
Dropping-
This is Inception.
Rappers rapping bars whilst dropping bars.
The show.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the name of the show.
My God.
That'd be much better than the actual show I watched.
It probably would be, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else, Beck?
Nah. What have you been watching, Rob?
Nothing. I've been watching this Bigfoot documentary over and over
Rob,
and
in
over.
the past 48 hours, how many times have you seen this
Twice.
film?
2
That's-
times.
Just only.
I was gonna say
In the
pathetic,
past week,
but I also watched it.
it's
too.
been 3 times.
In the past week, it's been 3 times, not including the time you took to cut those beautiful
That's
sound
true.
bites out.
What are you talking about?
It is very bizarre indeed.
Here we go. Strap in.
Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, let's just
It's
put
Put your
time.
this thing down for
strap-ons
people.
on and
This is,
strap in.
this is
Put
an
your
episode
strap-ons
for
on.
us, by the way.
Strap
This
your
is an
strap-ons
episode
on.
for the Straight Chilling
We're
crew.
taking it back.
We're taking back our yeah. We're sick to shit of people paying us
Sick
to review movies.
To shit. We
We're
are
gonna review our own movies, and it's not even one. It's a 45-minute documentary
It's barely a film.
that you can really only find if you really look.
It's more
Most of
horrific
the
than
footage comes from another thing.
horror. True.
What'd you say, Beck?
It's more horrific than horror.
Yes, it's kind of a bummer.
It's a thing that needs to be seen.
Sasquatch was real.
It needs to be seen. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the main event. We're talking Bigfoot Monster Mystery, kicking it off with the back of the box.
What's on the back of the box?
All right, this, as far as I'm aware, does not exist physically anywhere, so there is no back
Vinegar
of the box.
Syndrome, Arrow Video,
Looking
get
at
your
y'all.
ass in gear.
If it existed,
You would have
I would buy
I
every
would own it.
copy,
I would buy
and
it
I
too.
would hand it out to people on the street,
No
like
Jack
a
Stever
Bible.
bags.
You need this, like a Bible.
This will clarify your world for you.
So what I'm going to be reading here is off of the information on Amazon Prime for Bigfoot Monster Mystery. The synopsis is as follows here. The Sasquatch has stalked the American imagination for generations.
Sasquatch.
Many have dedicated their lives to searching for it and providing that it does exist. This film goes along with a world-class photographer and a group of self-styled Bigfoot experts on the hunt for this hairy mystery. Meet eyewitnesses, strap on high-tech gear, and venture into the woods in search for an all-American forest monster.
Okay, in
I-
search of. Sorry, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say Henry Franzoni definitely wrote that.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know for sure, but I can tell you this. The most important phrase in that whole blurb is the phrase self-styled.
Ah!
I thought it was strap on.
Ah!
Beck, get your mind out of the gutter. Let's go.
Henry, if you're
2020.
listening, and I know you are, please reach out to us here at Straight Chilling Podcast. We would love to discuss this topic with you further.
We love
Randy specifically is a
I
huge fan of yours.
I would 100% love to have Henry Franzoni on this show. That's on the record. Let's get
Yes.
that out there right now.
Yeah.
We are not to be hassling.
Sasquatch was real.
Randy's getting nervous.
I am.
Because he's actually going to respond.
We're putting this into the world where people might take us seriously despite our best efforts.
This
I'm
is
telling you, he's
serious.
coming.
I am being serious.
We are moving toward.
Sasquatch was real.
He's putting on his strap on and he's coming, right?
He's a just like Santa Claus.
Oh my god, turning me on.
Better leave some milk and cookies out, Diddy.
Make that milk Santa.
I'll leave some sausages.
Good Lord.
Diddy done did it dirty, didn't he?
Jesus Christ.
This is turning into a new year, new podcast.
Let's talk about this fucking movie.
Oh my lord, we're talking about this movie.
I don't even think Rob's drinking.
I don't.
You thought incorrectly.
He's drunk on Sasquatch.
I'm drunk on power.
Oh god, that's what
So-
Hitler
Okay,
said.
Never mind, Rob
So
is
let's-
drunk.
Yeah, we're talking Sasquatch. Henry Franzoni. This is kind of like the guy that we're following throughout this documentary.
Yeah.
Strong influence.
He the documentary starts off. He's just in the middle of the woods, and it's kind of snowy, and he's got half a drum set, and he's just drumming away. And there's he's like talking over his drumming, saying that he didn't believe Bigfoot existed until he went on this camping trip with his fiance, and he like smelled.
We really glossed over an important aspect already.
Did we drop the spoiler warning?
No.
Is there really
Yes.
anything to? All right, spoiler warning. Here we go.
Spoiler warning.
Thank you.
Also,
All right.
you just completely said
Yeah.
drumming in the woods and didn't even pause.
So he is playing drums in the woods.
Just like that.
Sounds just like that. So that's bizarre enough, right?
Unexplained.
He does
mind
some fills and things. He plays for a while. Yeah. What do you think about that, Bob?
This is
Bob's
a
a drummer.
kit. This isn't even like we're not talking about a djembe here. We're talking about a drum kit.
Yeah,
Minus
there's
the
a
snare
drum
drum.
kit
No
out
snare
in the
drum.
woods.
He has no time for a
Snowy
snare drum.
Oregon wilderness.
He has no time for a floor tom. He has no time for crash or ride cymbals or hi-hat.
What's he got, Bob?
Oh, he's got that splash cymbal.
Ooh, he rides that
got
splash cymbal.
2 rack toms and a kick drum, and that is all the man needs.
Yeah,
The man-
out in the wilderness.
That's
He's
it.
just trying to entertain him.
Just
Yes.
trying to
No.
entertain.
You guys have got it all wrong.
Do
He's just
we-
trying to make Sasquatch, aka Bigfoot, curious.
Yeah,
He's hoping he can get his attention.
He wants to entertain
Sasquatch.
Bigfoot. He says so.
Sasquatch.
He says, I'm hoping to entertain Bigfoot, but if anything,
Maybe-
I'm hoping Bigfoot is curious.
So we established this movie, the principal character, and I'm choosing to characterize this movie as a fictionalized account.
Henry
With
Franzoni just
Henry,
died.
our lead protagonist, being the loneliest man in America, drumming in the woods to entertain Bigfoot.
He always stops to pause and look off.
Yeah,
See if
to see if
Sasquatch
Bigfoot
is-
responds.
Yeah, if he showed up.
Yeah.
And then he'll do another little drum fill. And he'll look to the other side. Wait, has
Did I hear
Bigfoot showed up now? Oh wait,
Because you see,
is he over here?
in the great words of our lead principal character, you do not find Bigfoot.
yeah.
Bigfoot finds you.
He does.
He does.
Isn't that the truth?
Be prepared to be bedazzled.
Isn't that the
That
truth?
guy. So we are floating this potential idea that maybe one day Straight Chillin' Podcast will remake this film shot for shot.
Oh, yeah.
But instead,
Shot for
we'll
shot.
be looking for the
The Florida skunk ape.
the Florida skunk ape. So Rob, you would be Henry in this film. You are
Henry
the drummer.
Franzoni.
Yep, you are the drummer. So what kind of insight can you give us into your mirrored
How you feeling about splash
character?
symbols today, Bob?
I feel moderately okay with splash cymbals,
All right.
but we're talking about, since we'll be in the swamp, maybe like loading my kit onto a John boat and pushing me out into the middle of the
Yes.
swamp, and I'll just play drums in the middle of
Yeah.
the swamp.
It'll be attached to a
How
rope
would
so
it
we
sound,
can
though?
pull you back in if we need to.
It sound kind of like this, something like that.
How did we all watch this film together?
Yes.
Right, for the first time.
Yes, we did.
Um,
I can tell you exactly. I can remember this day like it was a pivotal
This-
point in my life.
yeah,
it
this
was.
is
That it
Me
was.
Me too, actually.
Was
So we were with the co-founders of this podcast, Ross and Jack, at their apartment. We were drinking heavily, and we were looking for something to satiate our thirst for something stupid to watch. And we happened on Netflix at the time upon something that just said the word Bigfoot in hairy, grotesque lettering. And we decided, well, yeah, we got to check this out. It's 45 minutes. We're going to check it out. We hit play, and this man showed up on the screen.
First shot, drumming.
This god showed up.
Drumming in the woods
the
to
snowy woods.
entertain Bigfoot.
Yeah.
to
Like 2
make
hours later, we
Bigfoot
were still
curious.
watching
He
it.
changed our lives.
Little
that
did
day.
we know he entertained us instead.
I didn't
Can't
believe
wait to entertain.
Bigfoot existed until that day.
I have questions now.
Actually, so he tells the story. Rob, you are starting to tell the story that he
Tell the
tells
story.
the story.
Yeah, he was on a camping trip with his fiance.
His
and
fiance.
his-
I'm going to assume then fiance.
his fiance, because now they're married, right?
Potentially.
Okay.
There's a wifey.
They go camping, and he smells something that smells like a skunk but different than a skunk, and apparently he assumes that's Bigfoot.
But just as he just knows.
Well,
He
he also
never
heard
even
something.
up until this night. He never even considered that Bigfoot existed.
He heard something like this.
Yes, but he smelled it.
Yes.
The smell is what
It's like a
convinced
skunk.
this man
This awful smell.
to change his life, to completely alter his life and start pursuing Bigfoot. He knew that smell.
That smell can't be a goddamn thing if it's not a Bigfoot.
No,
Yeah.
that's the only. I mean, it smells as potent as a skunk, but it's not a skunk.
But it's not. It's just not a skunk.
It's Bigfoot's dick.
I have a theory. Well, no, you know what? I'll get to that later.
So-
Let's continue. What happens next? Next, we meet Larry Lund. Is
We
that
meet
next?
Larry, and I was going to talk about this part since
Come
it
on,
was a
Beck.
relevant
Do it.
part.
Fill us in.
Excuse me. Well, Larry is a Sasquatch sleuth with a hat,
He's got a
embroidered hat that says
implying
that.
such.
He shows
Larry.
us the first of probably 25 times of the Patterson footage,
Footage.
It's important that you pronounce it in such a professional fashion. And
which is the only true evidence of Bigfoot ever on tape.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is what they base their whole thing on.
Yeah, this
the Patterson
footage.
footage, but they're not cranks, Becky,
No, they're real.
because they show footage and they're like, "This is a hoax, though,"
They
Yeah.
show, yes. People send us tapes all the time, and we,
and they're fools.
yeah, they're
But
foolish.
the best
They're
part
all
of this
fakes.
part is that he is convinced that Bigfoot is a woman
Oh yeah.
based off frame
Patty.
352.
Ah.
Her breasts swing over.
Oh,
They
yes.
roll over.
They do.
That's
They're-
a direct quote.
They do.
They roll.
Patty's got breasts.
That's
and
how
they
you know
swing
it's-
and roll.
That's how
I've
you
seen
know
a
they're
lot-
not fake, or
Yeah.
that this footage is not
Nope.
fake.
Nobody
Yeah.
would fake breasts.
He said, no one can fake breasts like that. I've seen a lot of old lady titties in this world.
That's true.
The less said about that, the better.
I've worked with the older population.
What
and
are
helped
their
them get dressed and
names?
stuff. Can't go into that detail. Old lady tits,
They roll.
they roll
No.
Do they rock though?
and they swing. Anyone can make that shit pretty much the same thing.
Dude, I mean, what? It would be so much trouble to fake long titties. Like,
It's
why
literally
would-
just like a
Bex,
balloon.
what you're telling me is that somebody dressed an old woman and a skunk
An old woman that's like 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
Come on, Beck.
and an ape costume and rolled her crusty ass out into the woods
and gave
and let her
made her
titties
walk.
flop around.
Made her walk 5 foot steps.
I mean, Henry also describes how they walk and that
Oh,
they
yeah.
walk with bent knees, which isn't hard to replicate, and that's how old people walk.
No,
So,
people
just
lock
saying.
their knees back. Henry
Just
proves
saying.
it by showing a person walking. Who is he?
Yeah. He demonstrates this during Thanksgiving dinner.
Presumably.
With call girls, two
I-
random
I
women
was-
who are just
Yeah,
like
a woman who
smiling and
certainly
nodding.
does not want to be there
They-
in that documentary.
Those women are upset. They want to. They have had enough of his
It might
shit.
be
him and then
shackled
the
to the table.
filmmaker, who is what's his name? John Waters.
John
Not John
Waters.
Waters.
Poor John.
But
Yeah,
this
no divine in this film.
different John Waters.
This is John Waters, the Englishman, who has been paid handsomely to stand in the woods and pretend to care about big
Wildlife cameraman.
we
John
suspect
Waters.
that Henry has funded for this film to
We have
be
suspicions.
made. And John, poor John, has to do his best to make this film.
It turns
tries.
out by the end of this movie, John is the downtrodden hero, and Henry is the Emperor from Star Wars, just inflicting pain upon this man.
Yes. That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
John, oh man, John goes through so much shit in this movie. Even at the beginning of this movie, so it starts where it ends, but they don't tell you.
Yes, it does.
There's footage at the beginning of this movie of John chasing a Sasquatch. Which, by the end of the movie, he's so fed up with just sitting out in the woods and getting rained on because he's been asked to film a Bigfoot that doesn't exist.
And he's like, I don't think this is going to happen because
So
obviously
It is very bizarre indeed.
he tries
There he is.
he tries to fake it himself. So he uses his own fake footage
as a tease.
to fill this movie.
Yeah.
Which, its total is 42 minutes?
42 minutes.
What I want is a director's commentary for this film. I want to hear John Waters say like, yeah, we had almost no footage, so we had to show 20 minutes with a crank in a trailer talking about Native Americans leaving bark behind.
Oh, God, yes. Come with me.
There he is. That's him.
There's some characters in this movie.
What's great about this movie is instead of actually proving or showing anything of value, what it chooses to do is show like, well, you can't fake better footage of Bigfoot, so therefore the Patterson footage is real. And see, we're not like this guy in his trailer talking some bullshit. We actually know what we're talking about because we know words like gluteus minimus.
So there's like a handful of experts that show up in this movie. Henry is in pursuit of all this.
Very
And
loose
that
term.
then there's this guy who lives in the woods. Who's
Yes. What is his name? Do we
Harry
have his-
Hull.
Harry Hull?
Yep.
Harry. That's
Hull.
a great name. I can't believe I never noticed that. This movie's the gift that keeps on giving.
Be prepared to be bedazzled.
Every scene of this movie, every time I watch this movie, 3 times this week again, something new and funnier shows up.
Yeah, so Henry Hull.
Yeah.
So we have 2 Henrys. All right, Henry Hull. He gives first account
Trapper Hull.
stories of how he has interacted with
Yes.
these 2 clans of
Oh, yeah.
of Bigfoot creatures and how they interact with him, how they fight each other, how they gift him pieces of wood.
Oh, yes.
I love that this dude, they found this guy, literally, he lives on the side of the road. You can
Yes.
see his trailer on
In the
just
woods,
there's
yes.
a main road and he lives to the side of it.
He looks like he's living his best life. There's no one denying that.
Just off to the side.
And he
And
wears
his-
like a dead fox on his head.
Yeah, he does.
His camper is covered in a tarp. I assume because it's leaking profusely.
And it's very clear that they paid this man $50 and he's clearly making it up as
Yeah.
he
Oh,
goes.
as he goes. Yeah.
Like
Oh,
at
yes,
one point he
bitch.
points to a random piece of wood.
This
They're
is
in
on
the
his-
middle of the woods. They're in
talking-
the middle of the woods and
No.
he points at a random piece of
no.
wood.
In
like a
addition to
log.
it being the middle of the woods, he's also like on the side of the road next to a bunch of logging trucks
Yeah, he's
where
on
there's
logging.
tons of pieces
They're
of
cutting
wood
trees
just
down.
lying
Yeah.
around. And he's like telling
See
them the
that
first
bark?
sighting of Bigfoot he saw. He's like, I saw him right down the road there. He was real cool. He was real tall. And I said, that's Bigfoot. And then, you know what he did? Come over here. Look at this. Look at this. He left me a piece of wood. It's right there. And he just pointed at a pile of wood.
A piece of bark.
A
piece of
Not even
bark.
wood.
and
And then-
was it John? That is
No,
just-
one of the hunters is
One of the
like, do you
hunters.
think that they value bark? And why do you think they value bark enough to give it to you? He's like, well, I don't, you know, Indians. And then he goes on talking about how Indians will leave people rocks to say thank you, which no clue how real that is. I'm guessing none.
There's also he's got this like swagger to him. Like he
does. He's very confident.
He is very confident in his storytelling ability, as if he's convincing all of us.
Oh, yes.
He's also
it's-
convinced that people wearing orange hats are what shooters shoot at.
Yeah. He's like, should I wear this orange hat?
John,
And Henry
John.
and John's just like, should I wear this orange? Like, it's like a vibrant orange, like hunter's cap. He's like, oh, no, I know hunters that shoot at orange.
He
Like only Dick Cheney shoots at orange.
Yeah.
Holy
Unless you intend to murder, you're not shooting at orange.
Yeah.
don't wear that hat.
No.
They only shoot at the orange.
No. Orange is a target, buddy. You don't even know.
Oh, that man, he is doing
I
a
love
lot
him.
of meth.
I want to meet him. I want to play chess with
He's
that man.
also missing most of his teeth, I believe.
Yeah.
Some, if not all.
Missing a handful of teeth. That's That's
I
accurate.
think that he is a fascinating individual.
Can we talk about the German expert
Yes.
that comes into play a little
We
bit?
can talk about the German expert.
So-
What's his name, Beck? Do you have
hold
it?
on. Yes, I do. It is. Well, Grove. No, I don't have it.
Oh, that's fine.
I deleted it.
It doesn't
Sorry.
matter, really. So there's a German fellow who is surrounded
scientist.
by Bunsen burners.
Yes, you know he's a scientist because there are four Bunsen burners
At full
burning
blast.
at full
Full blast,
blast
yeah.
to prove that it's a lab and
Fire
the
hazard.
skeletons around him are scientific in nature.
He comes in and talks about Bigfoot in a few different ways. The first major way he pops in, he's got these like casts of like Bigfoot feet imprints.
Wait, you're talking about Larry Lund or are you talking about the German guy?
I thought that was the German.
Oh,
guy.
that's a
that's
different
Larry.
guy.
Oh,
Larry
that was
Lund.
Larry.
Larry Lund is the guy with the 60s hairstyle going.
He's the older guy with the stash.
Oh,
They look kind of
shit.
similar.
They do look
Yeah.
a little. It's just the mustache. They both got push broom staches.
Honestly, you could convince me they're the same guy that he's just doing a really bad
I
German
would believe
accent.
that before I believe that Trapper Hull saw any big feet.
Well,
Well, he starts off by talking about how no one would believe there's a Bigfoot unless you literally killed Bigfoot, dragged him to a meeting, and shoved your face into his dead.
to drag his corpse into meetings and
shove his
show him
face.
in their faces, and they would not believe.
And one trivia piece for that is he said that Grover Krantz said that to him.
Yeah.
And Grover Krantz is married to Albert Einstein's daughter.
mind
Tell me more about Grover.
blown.
That's all I know about Grover. He's
Okay.
also a Bigfoot enthusiast. I looked him up for that. But that means poor Albert Einstein,
Miss-
really brilliant guy. His daughter's married to a Bigfoot
Oh,
believer.
boy.
It's
A
sad.
Bigfooter,
Bigfooter.
a squatcher.
At least
Yeah.
they're not blowing shit up, I guess, but damn.
And the German guy also says that children shrieking attract Bigfoot.
Yes, of course.
And it's like how humans are attracted to dwarves because they are weird and comical.
they are comical to us. These shrieking children are comical to the giant big feet, of course.
It's upsetting.
We need to talk about how they shoot this man in the film.
Dude.
So we need to make this man look legitimate. We need
Yes.
a
How do we do that?
scientific expert. So he sits in his classroom. I don't know. A room. He's
It's
in
presumably
lab.
a
Office.
high school science lab.
Basically.
Yes, with a comical amount of Bunsen burners turned on to the max, just
yeah.
throughout the
With nothing on them, mind you.
The biggest fire hazard I've ever seen, just littered throughout this room, are Bunsen burners with the biggest flame for no reason.
No.
There's nothing
drama,
attached to
buddy.
them. They're literally just thrown across the room in just random areas,
And then there's just like some test tubes around, and
they
shit.
just
And a
burn.
Cats
couple, like-
or a bird skeleton
Yeah,
and a
bird
starfish in a jar.
yeah, a starfish in a jar. And the way they present these to you, to your point, Juice, is they will like fade. It's like like really shallow depth of field, and they'll focus in on the starfish, and then slowly transition to focus on our German expert.
While they're only showing like half his face, they
I
have
know.
they have to frame it in such a way that they cut off like half his face.
What else does he talk about, Bob?
Well, he talks about
Because eventually you come around to the droppings of Bigfoot.
Droppings.
droppings. Bigfoot droppings.
So we talk about Bigfoot shit in this movie.
Yeah.
We sure do.
Let's,
What does he have to say about that?
he's got this to say.
Folded pile of sausage about a foot high, 36 inches long if you had unfolded it, and 4 inches in diameter.
That's one hell of a
foot
shit.
high?
That's a pile
a
of
foot
shit.
high, 4 inches thick in diameter.
Folded.
36
Folded, of
unfolded.
course.
I wonder if it comes
Pile
out as sausage links,
of
like they'll
sausage.
twist it on
I don't
each
know if they're
end.
links. Yeah, the anus is just
Are they
crimping
patties?
Patties are
intermittently.
He's just like launching patties out of his ass. Pop, 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 pop.
He also said that's why you might hear shrieking in the forest.
Yes, because it's the shit is so
It's
big
so
that
massive.
Bigfoot screams in the woods, and he is still unfound. If you're out in the woods at any point in the near future, and you hear someone go,
If you hear this, that's a Bigfoot shitting. That's what that is.
that's the
Just
sound
leave
of
him
Bigfoot
alone.
shitting
Just leave him
a fucking foot, 36 inches of shit.
What
Folded.
is he eating?
Folded pile of sausages.
Folded pile of sausage.
He's I don't know, grass, bark.
Is
he eating bark?
Like,
Lots
who
of
the
bark.
fuck knows, man?
That's ridiculous.
What's a Bigfoot diet? I don't know.
The Bigfoot.
Dude, speaking of that sound, so John Waters, the director, is forced to sit out in the rainy-ass Oregon woods waiting for a Bigfoot that we all know, and he especially knows, will not appear. And instantly he's sitting there and he's like, all right, well, they gave me this tape recording of what they say is Bigfoot. Let's give it a listen. And this is what it sounds like right here.
It is very bizarre indeed.
Yes, that is his reaction too. And man, it's that they go on and on about how we sent this to the linguist expert.
It cannot
it can't be replicated.
faked.
It's very spontaneous.
It has
therefore
to be
it's
real.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, there's no way.
There's no way a human could make that sound that goes.
While he's in the woods, he resorts to beating a tree with a stick.
Yeah,
to attract Bigfoot.
These people.
They contradict themselves because the other guy's like, you can't attract Bigfoot. He finds you. You don't find Bigfoot. And then this guy's like, I'm hitting a tree with a stick to find him.
Yeah, but that other guy is also drumming in the woods.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you got?
Crazy. I'm crazy for
Oh
feeling.
my God. Yeah. Speaking
so
of crazy, Patsy Cline.
Get it, Bex.
Yeah, that's a great segue. So our hero, come villain by the end, Henry walks into a bar in one scene. The scene goes like this. I'll tell you exactly how it's shot. From the inside of the bar, sitting on the bar, presumably.
Sitting on the bar.
Sitting on the bar.
What's going on?
Looking at the fucking door.
Uh-huh.
It's an Oregon bar, northwestern bar. He strolls in, just as confident as any human being you'll ever see in your life. He strolls up to the bar, plings down a couple quarters, and says, "Let me have a draft beer, please." And then very
Insane.
smugly smirks, and then it's a hard cut to an entirely different scene.
And you never see that beer again.
You never see that beer arrive. You don't know what beer it is. Neither does he. Neither does the bartender.
That man
will never know.
That man
the beer.
orders a draft beer with the confidence and swagger as if he had a dick the size of a Bigfoot's shit.
And I have to believe
Jesus.
that he does.
Henry Franzoni is probably like Jonah Falcon level. Huge dick.
Like hurting people out there.
Yeah.
Damn.
Dropping loads.
Henry's got to get some custom-made jeans. Damn.
And a custom sweatshirt.
That's
Oh my God.
Yes, Becky. What does that sweatshirt look like?
Well, Henry, once we see him between his two desktop computers.
Oh, yeah. This is also
staring
filmed in
at you.
96, I think. we
96,
discovered.
yeah.
So he's got them fucking DOS-ass monitors, buddy.
But he stands up to go to his 3D replica model of the mountain range of Oregon.
Mountain range, topographical
But he's
model.
wearing topographical. But he's wearing a fucking Walmart Hanes brown sweatshirt with homemade fabric painted Bigfoot footprints
Tracks in yellow.
along his body.
Available now at the Straight Chilling store on TeePublic.
I will make you one if you.
Yeah, if you ask Becky real nice, she'll make you a fucking sweater.
I
And
will
also
do
if
it.
you pay her for it.
Yeah, Patreon. I'll do it for you. Anyways, we have been having debate. Did he make the sweater for himself? Did his mom make it because she knows that he is so pathetic? That's the only thing for a gift.
Damn.
It's like the Sasquatch sleuth hat. I mean, what
maybe
else do you
she
get
just
someone-
wants to lean into his interests. Beck.
Okay.
Maybe it's
Or
his Russian bride.
His fiance.
Fiance
Did his
might have made it?
fiance make it?
I think Henry made it. What do y'all think?
Yeah.
I think it was probably him or like Larry Lund, maybe.
I think Henry made it, and he was real proud of it.
Oh yeah, he's proud. He's walking around strolling with a cigarette. This man walks around with a swagger unknown to most men, unachievable by most men, because humility exists.
He looks like when he's smoking a cigarette, he looks like it is definitely the first time he's ever smoked a cigarette.
He never puts it in his mouth.
Yeah,
It just is on his fingers.
He's got a real Bogart swagger to him, and I just don't know how a man earns that kind of confidence, much
that
less
mane.
pretends to earn it.
Yeah, he's got a lot of hair. And
Yeah.
it's,
Mane of a lion
He does. He's the hair of a lion,
or a Sasquatch.
and the glasses of a sex offender.
This guy, he's got really nice blue drum bags too.
He does. You see
And
that?
he
in the
puts them
shot?
prominently in frame.
Yeah, like just in front of his massive computer monitors. This man's office is bizarre. He's got hanging plants.
Huge hanging plants.
Yeah. What's going on in this man's life?
So that's the thing. This is the
We
part of
just
the
don't
movie where you start to really realize just how much of a vanity project for Henry this whole thing is.
We did come back to the bar, and he
Right.
said on the camera, he said, there is a 3 million to 1 chance, maybe even 0, that John Waters will find Bigfoot.
And then it cuts to John Waters in the woods. And I don't
fucking
think
tree.
any of us at this point doubts that Henry himself put up the money to put John Waters in the woods for that amount of time. So
Yeah.
this is an act of sadism, is
Yeah.
what we're hearing. This is a sadistic man drinking in a warm bar while the man he hired sits out looking for Bigfoot, who he knows will not appear, in the woods for the entertainment of no one.
Hitting a tree with a stick.
Hitting trees with sticks, sitting literally in the rain under an umbrella, and listening to someone go.
This man had to interview a meth addict. Had to go sit out in the woods in the fucking pouring rain for at least a day because
yeah.
see at one point there are multiple from different angles shots of this man just eating a muffin in the woods. He's filming himself sitting around in the woods.
That muffin
eating
plays a prominent role in the story of this
it's a
documentary.
very tasty muffin.
We also skipped over a very important part, which I think is very revealing. Right towards the beginning, we have Larry Lund, Henry, and John Waters in a early morning, like morning zoo style interview on the radio, presumably in Portland, I think it was.
Yeah, it looked like it. Somewhere like that.
And so these guys are interviewing. They're like, we got the Bigfoot experts. So thanks for bringing in this giant footprint of supposed Bigfoot. That's real great. We got some questions from listeners. And they play a guy going like, hey, I've been a hunter in these woods for 20 years, and how's this Englishman going to come over here and find Bigfoot? I ain't never heard nothing. And
How
they're
about the
like,
Englishman?
whoa, this guy's kind of mad. What do you say to that? And they're like, oh, well, it's fun to try. John's answer on the spot was, well, it's fun to try. And you know what? He's right.
This man's
Actually,
paying
you
my
skipped
fee.
over something. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's the
where
other
you
thing.
find out.
This is where you really, like, especially on rewatch, you watch them say, like, so who really funds you guys? Like, who's going to give money to a Bigfoot researcher? And Henry goes, I don't know, somebody, I guess. And the
His
other guys
mom.
and then Larry Lund's like, sometimes you find people that want you to find Bigfoot, and they give you some money. And I don't know why he sounds like the fucking
The Lucky
Lucky
Charms.
Charms guy, but
Oh,
There is
shillelagh.
someone.
oh, shillelagh.
I did some research. We watched this a couple nights ago too. This is the third time we've watched it.
We have problems.
We have a problem. Almost as bad as the
We
DVD
have as
problem,
big
but
of
it's
a
okay.
problem as anyone in this movie, I'll tell you that much.
But someone, I can't remember who, but someone on the show I found on some articles said he spent millions of his own dollars to fund finding Bigfoot. So I'm not sure who it was. It was someone on the show.
God, I want him to find Bigfoot so
Millions?
bad.
Millions. Several
got
million.
millions?
Yeah,
I'll find Bigfoot for $1 million.
That was
try
Mr.
to-
Hull in his trailer
I'll
that
try
said
to
that.
find Bigfoot for
You know, I
millions of
spent
dollars.
millions of dollars trying to find Bigfoot, and all I got was this piece of bark.
Dude, I'll hang out in the woods and
t-shirt.
interview meth addicts for millions of dollars.
Oh
Fuck
yes,
yeah.
bitch, please.
As long as you do it with couth and etiquette, you'll probably find him.
to show I had
Henry,
and
I know you're listening. I
He will
know.
find Bigfoot.
I know you do
do
your.
not like the directed.
I
reference
know
part of this.
you do a daily Googe search for this film's name, and we will pop up.
This
sir.
film's name
Please.
changes with the platform it's
It's
presented
so hard to
on.
find it. Yeah.
Please
Yeah.
reach out to us. Let us help you search for Bigfoot.
Dude, we're gonna be in the Oregon area.
Yeah, we're
I
like
will sit in the
right
rain
there.
for you, sir, for a period.
We
of
have
time.
our own Bigfoot here in Florida, the skunk ape,
We
and
need
we
help
are
finding the
just as
skunk ape.
interested in finding him as you are in finding Bigfoot.
I want to know
Sasquatch.
how big the skunk ape's shits are, and if you can help me, I will get you a draft beer,
One
unspecified,
draft beer.
of course.
unspecified.
We also know that the Sasquatch wears a size 20 Triple H shoe.
Same as Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh yeah,
Shaboy Shaquille.
Shaboy Shaquille, Kazam the OG.
How does this? So, the ending of this movie is really striking.
So yeah, it's the third act. Let's talk about the third act because John Waters, this man gives up.
He has had enough.
He's had enough of the sitting and waiting approach for Bigfoot, as any of us would.
Banging on a tree.
It's like, what other thing can I do that I can pretend I've been active in searching for Bigfoot?
So he hires a makeup artist
yes,
to wear a Bigfoot costume.
pretty good costume.
And yeah, actually, it's pretty
Yeah,
legit. And
it
walk
does look
around
good.
the woods, and then he runs around the woods as if he is chasing a real Bigfoot to film him, which he then, as we mentioned, uses in his own
Yes.
film to fill the space.
So he tries to form a hoax of his own.
Yeah.
And I like presumably the idea of which is, well, if we can't fake it, then Patterson couldn't fake it.
Except they tried to
Yeah.
make you think that they faked
Yes,
it because
they
the
do.
first footage, like in this film, is like of a fake Sasquatch, like in the distance
Yeah.
behind a rock.
And
that
then you
he
find out
shot.
that was a direct hoax
be
within the
much-
text of the film.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's this. John Waters really just didn't want to spend any more time collecting footage. He was like, okay, after conversation 3 with Mr. Hull, I think I've had enough of any footage I could possibly achieve.
Dude, they flew that man over.
They did
From
across
English.
the pond.
They couldn't find like a local guy with a camera.
Well, that's the other thing is like when they did this little experiment of theirs, they're like, well, if we can fool the experts, then maybe it's all fake, or if we can't, then maybe it's all real. But they included every expert
experts.
from this movie in the creation of the fake,
hoax.
of the hoax.
So they're
they
trying
don't
to
test
trick
it
no
with
one.
anyone.
It'd be better like if John Waters did it behind their back and be like,
Yeah,
oh, I
it's like,
found
I
this.
found
Yeah.
And they'd be
Yeah.
like, no, it's not real. But
Yeah.
they're basically like, oh, it can't be real because Bigfoot doesn't have twigs in his
But
hair.
My
I'm like,
assumption, here's the whole thing. Here's how this is my theory about the whole thing. Henry, as we've established,
Randy
is the
has spent
loneliest
a lot
man
of
in North
time
America at this
thinking
point in
about
his
this.
life.
We've had
What?
3 years.
I said Randy spent a lot of time thinking about
I have.
Sasquatch was real.
The loneliest man in America once was out camping with his then fiance and farted real bad. And rather than owning his fart,
Damn.
he said, "You smell that? Oh, what is that? I can't. That's not like a skunk. It's a little like a skunk, but it's not a skunk.
It's different
What is
than a
it?
skunk.
It's different than a skunk.
So
and he's like, it
potent.
must be. Do you think that's Bigfoot, honey? Honey, do you think that's Bigfoot?" And she's like, "Henry, I know you farted. You don't have to lie to me.
he's like, "No,
we're to
I
be
swear."
married." And he says, "No. I don't. I would never fart in front of you. That's got to be Bigfoot." And then this ruse continued so long that marriage fell apart.
Maybe he married into money. Maybe that's where all this funding
Maybe
is coming from.
That's possible, but here's the rest.
That's how
of
he can
my theory.
afford that draft beer.
So over time, this man has lost contact with all reality, shall we say. He drinks only draft beer, and he decides to reach out to some other Bigfoot people like Larry Lund and a dude in a camper on the side of the
And a
woods.
German.
And
a
German
really
man
nice camper.
A German high
with
school
a lot of
teacher.
Bunsen burners. Yeah, with a high school teacher with a bunch of Bunsen burners. And then he's like, you know what? I've got a little extra income coming at me. I'll bet I could put together the definitive "You Can't Prove It's Not Real" documentary. So I'm going to call up this nature photographer. I'll find one. Okay, hey, I'll offer you like $10,000. You just got to come out for a week. Just come out for a week. We'll play our way in here. You got $10,000. And if you just do what I say for a little bit, you'll get $10,000. It'll be a quick buck for you.
This reminds me of another film that Bob really
Creep.
enjoys. It's called Creep.
It's called Creep.
Correct.
This movie was recreated in 2015. No, and then Mr. Franzonian basically becomes the bridezilla of the production. He's like, all right, I need you to make me look great. So I'm going to be drumming, which is the coolest thing a person can do, especially in the woods. And especially because I have a lot of thoughts about how Bigfoot likes his drumming. And I think he likes a lot of cymbal. And so we get a lot of footage of me drumming in the woods, and then we'll get some footage of me ordering a draft beer, not a bottled beer, a draft beer.
Yeah.
And then
Only
I'm going to
fools.
send you out in the woods where you'll get rained on for 3 days.
It better be domestic, too.
You'll get rained on for 3 days while I smoke a cigarette in a sweater and talk about how you'll never find Bigfoot. And our John Waters loses patience, of course, and says, "Oh, well, I don't know. I can't be out here forever. What else can we do? I've been out here in the rain forever. I've got the internet, and that's about it, and a stick to bash other sticks with. What the fuck do you want from me? No money's worth this. And he's like, well, I don't know, come up with something. And he's like, all right, well, what if we like try and fake Bigfoot? And he's like, oh, that's great, because if we can't fake it, then they can't prove that anyone else could fake it. Mm-hmm. And so you get the last act, in which we have fake Bigfoot being chased by John Waters. And then nothing.
And then it ends
with
that poor man
in the Bigfoot costume.
He gets fed up. You could
the
tell
Bigfoot actor has had it.
You could tell that the Bigfoot actor
it's
gets
cold as
pissed.
fuck
So
out here.
John Waters is kind of pissed off. The Bigfoot actor is pissed off, and it ends with that poor man with his Bigfoot head removed from his, but still in he looks like fucking Chewbacca, just sadly smoking a cigarette out in the fucking woods.
And then it's over.
And then that's it.
Bigfoot sits down in the woods, takes off his mask. It's like The Simpsons. It takes off his mask and just starts puffing away at a cig like, Jesus Christ, this is a long day.
That man looks like he knows how to smoke cigarettes. Yeah. He actually smokes cigarettes.
He's had some hard days.
Yeah, he has. And then the very, very end, at the end of the credits, because that's during the credit reel. This is like a funny, like nearly missable thing. The production company's logo comes on screen. It's the last thing you see is the cigarettes being puffed, and then the production logo. And on site, the production logo goes and has this fucking gunshot sound. So presumably that man's now dead.
No, that's just what it sounds like. That's not real.
I just thought that was such a weird choice.
Because he's not wearing his orange cap.
Yeah,
Somebody thought they bagged them a Bigfoot.
He was told not to wear orange because they shoot at orange, of course.
That's what they do.
That's what the meth addict said.
That is what he said.
Oh, God, yes, come with me.
That dude is fucking weird.
I think this whole movie is a collection of sad dads or sad unable to be dads because their
sad
sperm
what?
just like, or sad dads that cannot be dads because the sperm refuses to reproduce.
The sperm rejects the host. It's
It
like,
knows.
I just won't become a person.
This can't happen, guys.
Too sad of an existence.
I can't do this to the world.
Darwin said nah.
Damn. That's low.
This is so dark. So basically,
But come on the show, Henry. We got to talk to you.
Henry.
We're here.
Find me.
We're here just shitting on everything you hold dear.
Yeah, but not as much as Bigfoot could shit.
Yes,
Little
and
bit
not
less.
certainly not
Hey,
as high.
you know
or
what?
as
Come
thick.
on and defend yourself. Maybe that's not how it
No,
plays
this
out.
isn't Joe Rogan.
Yeah, that's not what we're trying to do.
Henry, hit me up in them DMs.
I do love this scene in the movie where we've got the Bigfoot actor and he's like in the living room of Henry's mom's house for sure.
Yeah.
And he's like practicing his stride.
It's like extra big strides.
But he's like walking on a wood floor and he just kind of like slips and slides into the couch on accident. That shit.
It's such
And
a
they
subtle
don't
moment.
even
so funny.
change it. Like
They don't
They
even-
could have
yeah.
cut it. It's like Tim and Eric edited this.
No one needs to see that.
That's the thing. That's the real like coup of this movie is you can tell that John Waters, who had final edit, I'm sure of that.
Sure.
He definitely snuck in some shit. He's like, I
These
don't think I'll
fools.
ever find Bigfoot, but I guess some people like it. And it's just like that. He'll have like little like almost shitty things to say about it, but he'll just stop just shy, and then he'll have like include shit like that. It's
man.
great. This is like the edit is his passive aggression
It
towards
is. It's like
Henry.
his fuck you. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to include myself eating a muffin from multiple shots many times in this movie.
And he's like, I'm short on footage anyway. I might as well pad it out with muffin footage.
Yeah, and at that point, it's like, all right, I've already shot this movie. I've been paid to like edit and deliver a final film. Like,
Yeah.
this is what you're getting, Bish.
Yeah. Good luck selling it.
Yep, and he did.
Yeah,
It was on
I
Netflix.
guess.
Well, or
like
something.
probably as a package deal for
Something.
streaming.
Package footage.
A package of footage.
We enjoyed anyways, Henry.
Oh,
we
yes.
get a good
There's
kick out
no
of it.
bigger fan of this documentary than us. I
Yeah.
just don't
I
think
don't
that
think-
there's anybody who's watched it this often.
It is very bizarre indeed.
I think you would find it fascinating that we've watched it.
I-
and are encouraging by hosting
Yes.
an episode. Do you know how many people listen to Straight Chilling?
Over 100.
Oh my god. A couple.
I'm telling you, more than Henry, I want to interview John Waters. I want to know the real story.
Spill it,
behind
girl.
this.
Spill it.
Where's
Spill it,
that tea,
girl.
bitch? Show me the tea.
You interview John, I'll interview Henry, and we'll come
duke
back.
it out.
I want to interview that German dude.
Yeah.
This is like, have you seen Darth Marenghi's Dark Place? Or Garth Marenghi, excuse me.
You're making up some shit.
No.
What are you
It's anyway. Long story short, I want to see a version of this documentary where you have interspersed like commentary from them now talking about the making of this documentary. That's what I want to see. Where it's like, Henry sent me out, and I was like, I don't want to be out in the woods in the rain all day long. He's like, oh, you're gonna find Bigfoot, and then later I filmed this footage, and he's like, oh, he's not gonna find Bigfoot. And I was like, what the fuck, Henry? That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see that footage. Footage.
All right.
I don't know, man. It could happen one day.
It's great. Real great.
It's
But,
real great.
Well,
Who?
there is no Rotten Tomatoes score for this movie.
There's really not.
No.
Oh, there's no Rotten Tomatoes.
There is no Rotten
No
Tomatoes for
maters.
this. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of reviewers for this motherfucker.
But there's some
And
good
that's-
reviews.
There's some what?
Good reviews.
Good reviews? Where'd you find these reviews?
Amazon.
Amazon?
Yeah.
Is that the Amazon footage?
The Amazon footage. But I would like to read a couple because they're hilarious.
Yeah, don't read that shit.
So some are like very serious, I think, and some are hilarious. So I'm going to start. I have like 6. I probably won't read all of them, but this is the first one. 1 star out of 5. Title, Are They Freaking Serious? Arguably one of the, if not the, stupidest Bigfoot movies I've ever watched. I can't decide what is more ridiculous, the fat guy drumming in the snow or the many minutes of wasted on the so-called hoax attempt. No new facts, no actual footage except for the Patterson film.
Footage.
And pretty much an enormous waste of film and time. Absolute garbage.
John Waters wrote that.
Damn, savage.
Next review, 5 stars. Great date movie. You will definitely get laid.
I don't know about that.
This documentary is hilarious. If you're concerned with credibility, there are lots of cranked up Bunsen burners and articulated cat skeletons to assuage your fears.
Articulated.
Highlights of the film include some badass snowy forest drumming, a wine-drunk dinner party, and extended discussion of breast swinging directionally of walking apes.
Henry wrote that one.
Bonus footage
I'm
of a
getting
toothless
laid
but
tonight.
endearing Bigfoot enthusiast living deep in a serial killer-style forest. You won't be disappointed.
That man may have murdered some folk.
Oh, yeah.
This
he definitely
one-
farted, though.
This is a one, I'm not sure if it's real or not. 5 stars. Bigfoot exists. New standards of evidence and proof. Finally, the movie that proves definitive proof that the existence of Bigfoot.
That proves
That's-
What that means.
definitive
That's
proof.
written by Henry.
Plus, I learned that Bigfoot in the video footage from California is female. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty
Now I can have
cool.
some fantasies without
That's-
feeling weird about
That's
it.
pretty cool.
Last one, 5 stars. Worthy. 1980s documentary, free of social media. Authentic, and I learned a lot.
That's
Oh,
pretty
no.
cool.
Oh, that's
Free of
cool.
social media.
Yeah. So
That's the real crime.
yeah, it's pretty interesting. The overall rating for this movie is a 2.5 on Amazon,
That seems
Wow.
a lot.
which makes me think there are people like us mainly watching it.
It's gotta be
Like us.
A lot of it's like, oh,
With
geez,
problems.
it's a parody. It's really all over the place.
Lonely, lonely people.
That's pretty cool.
There's only a couple that are, I think, true. So
Okay.
Dude,
that's good.
Yeah.
Nailed
With that
it.
transition,
Anything else you guys want to touch on before we rate this?
I think we talked about this movie about as long as this movie.
It's longer than
is.
the
I
movie.
could talk
We
about this movie
started-
forever and ever and ever. There's no way that I could not.
Yeah.
You have to stop me. I could watch this movie over and over again.
We have
Stop him.
Don't stop me.
stop this
Don't
man.
stop me now. I'm having such a
Don't
good
stop.
time. I'm having a ball.
Stop this man.
That's an interesting point.
Ah, yes. Thank you, Bigfoot.
Let's rate this bad boy out of 5. Randy, kick us off. How you feeling about Bigfoot Monster Mystery?
Okay, so on the real, here's the thing about this. There's nothing about this that is of real value except in the just amount of entertainment that you get out of it. Mm-hmm. It is a gold standard dumb movie find that I don't know I'll ever replicate. I don't know that there's enough movies this silly in the world for me to find another one. Without, like, I feel like I've unearthed gold, and I want everyone to see this movie and confirm how silly and ridiculous it is. Mm-hmm. That's the driving force of my love for this movie. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I could give it a real score, but I want to give it my heart's score, which is a 5-star. This is a 5-star film.
Randy
my
thinks
heart
about this film a lot.
Huh?
I said Randy thinks about this film a lot.
I think about this movie too much. This movie is my personal Bigfoot. This movie is to me what Bigfoot is to all the people in this movie, except John Waters.
You hear that, Henry? 5 stars.
Perfect.
It's a 5-star movie. I think that this movie should be seen by everybody, and everybody should have to write essays about it in high school.
Damn.
That's
yes.
not. We did go to Florida school, so let's.
We went to Florida school. So
it's bad enough.
Yeah, let's not make it worse. Jesus.
Instead of the virtue of a tramp stamp class, we'll talk about this movie. I give it a 5-star, and I just want everyone to see it. I think it's so funny. To me, it's on the level of with The Room and shit like that, and like Troll 2.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like I'm the first person on this continent. I'm discovering the new world of shameful documentaries.
That's a good point, Randy.
Starting off the year with a 5 from Randy Galandi. I like it. Juice, what about you? Out of 5, how you feeling?
I will say that finding this film was like a magical moment. It all clicked. The atmosphere clicked. And not only did it happen in that moment and that night, but it's carried over, and it's still, we all watched it with the big group. The OG squad was here, the twins, and we were all sitting around. We had just as much a good time as we did on that original night that we watched it. However, this is barely a film. In the same way that we've rated Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 with its, like, this is 42 minutes, and they show that, like, old school 60s Bigfoot
Patterson
footage,
Gimlin footage
over and over and over. And they show a man eating a muffin over and over.
It's a good muffin.
You're obsessed with
It's a
muffin.
real
It's
good
a
shot
good
of a muffin.
It's barely a film. They barely shot enough footage to piece together 42 minutes.
Yeah.
This is a 1/2 star.
Oh, shit.
Doesn't mean it can't be enjoyed. It doesn't mean it can't be enjoyed.
Is it a solid 1/2 star?
I guess.
Thank you.
All
Thanks
right.
for the concession.
Yeah.
Becky, out of 5, how you feel?
Oof.
We kind of covered both options.
I think I'm gonna go like extreme middle ground on this one.
Okay.
And give it a 2.5 for both reasons. It's great, but it's not great at all.
You should never watch this film alone.
Yeah, I'll
That's
I'll
one thing.
never
Like,
that.
if I turn this on by myself on like a sad night, it wouldn't be funny.
It's not going to make
On
your
a
night any less
sad
sad. I'll
Yeah,
tell you
it's
that.
just gonna be like, oh, and I'd probably just not watch it. But with friends, it's great. So like, I would give it that. It's ridiculous, but I would say looking at after we watched it again for the 3rd time tonight, we looked at other Bigfoot documentaries for just a second. There's a lot of Bigfoot documentaries this
Henry's
crazy
and
or
stuff.
more out there. So there's a genre, and I'm kind of ready to go down that rabbit hole a bit. when
There's
we
a
moved to
whole
Oregon.
world of bad documentaries to look
Yeah.
at.
There's a Bigfoot cafe, all sorts of shit.
Oh,
so
thank God.
We're going to go looking for Bigfoot in Oregon.
Sasquatch Hotel. So I'm excited, and this movie sparked that interest. So 2.5,
There you go.
whatever.
2.5 from Becky, the responsible person in the room, obviously.
I guess.
Giving it a reasonable rating. 'cause
6 stars.
5 5 is crazy. 1/2 star is crazy. But I'm going to come in with a 5-star on this.
Hey, thanks for praising
I
me, bud.
love this so much. It's so dumb. It's so terrible. But it's like...
It's infinite well of enjoyment.
It is. It's like, this is the kind of shit you want to find, and it's so rare and difficult to find because it's like, it's It's perfectly stupid and perfectly hilarious
And sincere.
And yeah, all of it, everything it needs to be at the same time. Like you put on this Bigfoot documentary, and the first thing you see is this dumb white dude playing drums in the middle of the woods, and you're like, "What?
Henry, don't listen.
What is happening?
Don't listen to that, Henry.
What's happening?" And then there's this German dude talking about Bigfoot's shits, and there's Bunsen burners going wild.
What does Bigfoot sound like?
And Bigfoot sounds exactly like this.
Very bizarre indeed.
And it's impossible for humans to recreate that, as we have learned from this documentary.
It just keeps upping the ante.
And then the dude in the Bigfoot outfit slides into this dude's mom's couch.
It can't get better.
This man has the dirtiest keyboard I've ever seen. And he chose to zoom into it.
Oh, it's
zoom
so
in so
dirty.
close.
Dude,
I
I
tried to see
literally
what he was writing on it. He definitely typed Bigfoot. But I can't see beyond that.
Bigfoot enter.
This is just so wild and so one of a kind, and I am so pleased that we just found it randomly together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like a must watch. It's a must watch
With
It's-
friends only.
Yes,
If you don't have friends, get some friends.
and then watch it, and then force them to watch this, and then you will lose those friends.
Yeah, I was like, then
Oh,
you won't have
yeah.
any friends anymore. So.
It's a high risk. If your friends don't stick around after this movie, they're not really your friends.
yeah, not the kind of friends you need.
You need better.
You need better friends.
Careful with this advice.
Tread
everything
lightly
with a
in
grain of salt.
2020.
Nah.
Yeah, 5 for me. That's going to put our aggregate at a 3.2.
That's really sad.
That's
and
high.
great at the same
That's
time.
high.
Yeah,
that
that's
does
too
feel
high.
kind of high, doesn't it?
I am a comfortable.
Says the two guys.
There's
who
literally
did
no
it.
right score for this. Like,
Yeah.
it deserves to be both.
It's
the
such an
bottom
oddity.
And the top.
It's It's
It kind of can't be compared to other movies.
it
Yeah.
can't be. It's its own thing.
And yet it's right in the middle.
It transcends film, if you will.
It does.
But
This
it's-
will be studied for centuries. I want to see like
Henry
James
is
Franco
like
and
the-
shit do.
I was
like,
about to say
The Room.
Henry is like the wannabe like Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, the key thing that makes him like Tommy Wiseau is that he doesn't want to be like Tommy Wiseau. He wants to be sincere and
Yeah.
legit and revered. And this movie just does not do that.
Oh man.
It does not accomplish the stated
that
goals.
sweater,
And it's
though.
oh my god,
That sweater
you could not
is
set,
insane.
You could not set out to make a funnier movie than this. That's the reality.
That is
Yeah.
true.
If you tried, you would fail.
The closest
Well,
you could
we'll
come is
find
like
out,
Wet Hot
Bob.
American Summer in terms of like making an intentional attempt at a dumb movie. That's the closest you'll ever come.
We'll see when we recreate it.
That man frames his face in between two giant computer monitors and thinks it's a good idea.
Yeah, it's definitely his idea, and it's definitely something he thinks makes him look cool as
Dude,
fuck.
that nasty ass keyboard. That shit
keyboard-
is grody.
wash your
as
keyboard,
fuck,
Henry.
You know how
dude.
much jizz is on that from looking at?
Bigfoot porn. He looks at Bigfoot porn.
It's
Yeah,
because
yeah.
she's
They
got
just look
titties.
at,
It's okay.
The chat rooms are less regulated then. I'll bet he's looking at all kinds of Bigfoot porn.
The
They just look at
much
frame
is there?
352.
oh, so much.
That says swinging breasts.
just
The
fapping.
swinging
Oh,
breasts of Patty the Bigfoot.
Every
Larry
time.
Lund is
Patty.
getting off.
Patty.
Every time I watch
She
it, I'm more
Irish?
convinced it's real.
Patterson footage.
Jesus Christ.
Booty. Them hairy titties swinging, swinging and jangling.
All right.
All right, that's that. We're talking about that.
There's
We
no
talked
Ron
about-
Maters.
No mater.
No rotten maters.
Amazon reviews, which were all on the money, every one of them.
I assume there's not any trivia because I don't know
This
how
movie
there
is
could be.
trivia.
It's hard to find.
It's hard to find, yeah.
Yeah.
It should be on YouTube, but it's definitely, as of recording, on Amazon Prime as Bigfoot Monster Mysteries.
So
right?
it's not on Netflix
Yeah.
anymore.
It used to be, and sometimes it is. I've seen it on and off.
Yeah, when it was on Netflix, it was just called Bigfoot. Simply
the picture
Bigfoot.
just said Bigfoot.
Simply Bigfoot.
So you really kind of got to look. But John Waters is the documentarian.
Yeah.
Henry Franzoni definitely financed it, and yeah, it'll. If you get the chance, if you see a man drumming in the woods, you know you're in the right place.
Right place.
You did good.
Yes.
Prepare to be bedazzled.
Be prepared to be bedazzled.
Be prepared to be,
Be
bedazzled.
prepared to be.
That man is high as fuck.
Holy shit.
Oh yes, bitch, please.
Oh, come this way.
Oh God, yes, come with me.
Oh,
you sounds like a leprechaun.
Oh, so much.
Somebody, before he says that, somebody asked him, like, have you seen anything else?
Yeah, he's like, hey, you see anything else?
You son of a bitch.
You dumb bastard. Walk behind me.
Because eventually you come around to the droppings of Bigfoot.
And then he just like kind of strolls down the street
does,
and
and
then
they-
just points at like some broken trees and is like, this is where they had a war.
Yeah, he makes
I don't want them driving me into the dirt up to my neck.
They're just people are logging. They're just cutting down trees.
Dude.
We have seen
No.
it throughout the entire
just
movie.
cutting-
No, because we have a German guy to tell us that they're twisted by hand.
Yeah, because
No
trees can't be twisted
machine
any other
could
way.
have been this wood.
No tree would ever break for natural reasons.
Tornadoes aren't real.
Oh my lord.
They can twist branches up to 4 feet in diameter.
Jeez.
4 inches. That man is really
4
obsessed
inches.
with the word, the idea of 4 inches.
wow.
I have no further comments
Why
on
do you
that.
It
think?
might be his dick length.
Whoa, Becky. Whoa, you said it, not us.
Oh, he's big swinging.
Oh, I guess he's a shower, huh? Ooh.
A whole 4 inches.
The whole diameter of a Bigfoot shit. All packed in one package.
I wonder how long Bigfoot's dick is. His
I
butthole's
mean,
gotta
the
be
foot size
ginormous.
correlated with dick size, so I mean, you do the math.
Yeah, it's a triple 20H.
22H.
Triple H.
Whoa.
Triple H.
Triple H the wrestler.
It's as big as the wrestler.
Triple H.
That's a lot of dick meat.
He swings it over his
dick.
shoulder and carries it like a hose.
Yeah. 2020. Kicking it off right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Doing great, guys.
It's a whole new year.
Oh.
Well, if there's no trivia, you know what's next? You know what time it is? Time to go hunting.
How do we
Dude.
decide this?
I don't know. Who we got? We got Henry.
It's Henry.
And Henry.
Oh, yeah.
It's
It's Henry. Clothing,
Hang on.
asshole.
Yeah. Asshole. Damn.
He does
He's
hit the
mean to
attire.
Sean.
Okay, hang
He
on.
splits. Yeah, you're right.
He manipulates
So
John.
let's
He
talk
does.
about what makes the Cooter. He's gonna hit 3 out of the 5 points.
What are they?
Attire,
Mm-hmm.
manipulation,
Yep.
smug arrogance,
Yep.
sexual deviancy,
Oh, yeah.
and patheticness.
Oh.
Okay. I realized as I was listing them, I
Fucking
realized he
above.
hit so many.
Oh, so many of them. Oh, yeah.
I can name specific scenes for each of them.
The only one that's unclear or that you can make an argument against really is the sexual deviance.
deviance.
Yeah.
What's your
It's
sexual
implied.
deviance argument? It's implied.
It's
It's
implied.
all about the implication. I don't think so.
He's got
ordering
women
a
at the
draft
table.
beer.
Now, if he hired those women to sit in for Thanksgiving dinner, then he
Steve.
could be.
Those women did not look happy to be there.
They didn't.
They were like, I can't believe
It
I'm
was-
watching this man mimic an ape wall.
Talk about
right
gluteus
now
minimus.
in front of a fucking pumpkin pie.
And somebody's filming.
No, I think
Sitting
he
there
meets all.
just
But
guzzling wine.
If not,
very
so let's
unhappy with
just
his
say let's just say he's not a sexual deviant.
Yeah.
he's not a sexual being, I'll tell you
The,
that.
the attire.
Oh no.
Hang on.
So mean.
There
So
might
sorry.
be a claim for sexual deviancy, but let me cover the attire. He's got this ridiculous Bigfoot sweater.
I mean, that's a clear
yeah.
+1.
The pathetic is off the scale.
Off the chart.
The scale's broken.
This man has
Loneliest
funded a
man
big
in America.
The drumming in the woods. This
Oh, my
might be
Lord.
the most pathetic man I've seen.
God, this feels so too personal. Oh, God.
Oh, Henry, no.
Oh, I feel so
we got
bad.
to start counting the patheticness scale in franzonies.
Oh,
Oh, my
How
God.
many
I'm
friends
gonna
he
start
got?
crying. I'm really sad now.
Oh, the sad dad.
Sasquatch was real.
Anyway,
Smug arrogance.
He ordered a beer and like immediately was
He-
smug and arrogant about
Yeah.
it.
He kind of like feels really smug.
Yeah, for a guy talking about
Exceptionally
Bigfoot, knowing that he funded this film, yeah.
The way he just like carries himself, you're like, why? You
Why are
shouldn't
you
be
so
this
arrogant?
proud.
the moment
yeah.
that he was most like forthright seeming was when the guy's like, "Who funds you guys?" And he's like, "I don't know.
It's not my mom.
I don't know, but whoever they are, I love her, and may she rest in peace."
I might
It is
have-
very bizarre indeed.
So smug arrogance,
feels so mean.
manipulation.
Oh, it does.
That one scene where he's sitting on the goddamn pool table, and even then he's kind of cocky. He's got he's
Yeah.
smoking the cigarette, and he's talking about how John is just sitting out in the woods getting his ass rained
There is
on.
nothing in this world
the fuck?
that I would be happier to hear than Henry Franzoni bags a Bigfoot. I want that to become reality.
Henry.
I
Maybe
want
reach out.
this to be
Maybe
100%
John Waters
on the
was
level.
like Henry's bully in high school and he's getting back at him or something.
That'd
He's
be
like,
great.
you need my money.
You're going to go sit in the woods and I'm going to love it.
You
Look,
need
I know
my
you're in
mom's
tax trouble,
money.
John. If that's your real
Englishman
name.
John. No, yeah, he's a cooter.
So, yeah, damn. Henry, he hits really damn high,
Yeah, it's
surprisingly.
kind of tough to argue otherwise.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to make a case for possible sexual deviancy.
I mean, the glasses are a clear indicator.
Hang on.
Oh, he's blind.
Hang on.
We
There's,
all are.
there's one moment where Henry is in his illustrious office
Illustrious.
and he is tracking the Bigfoot and
Okay.
sightings of the Bigfoot, and he's got this big, bumpy, curvy
yeah.
map
You're right.
on his
Sensual.
on his
Yeah,
wall,
he does
and
rub
he
it pretty-
strokes it very sensually
He does, sort of
as he's
sensually.
tracking the bit. It's like one of those like raised maps, and he's just like strokes it. So
What can I
weird.
say? Mother Earth really gives my 4 inches a tingle.
So it's possible. It's possible.
It is possible. That's a lot of digging deep, but
Damn.
This is like Randy's best friend. It's too personal. It's too
it's
personal.
starting to feel too personal. I feel so
That's because you know Henry's listening. You know he is.
he is.
You know he is.
You know he is.
He has an automatic Google search set up. Every morning he wakes up and this movie pops up to see if anything new has been
It's
said
this
about
movie
it. You know,
and then
we are popping
Asian
up.
scat porn.
Oh my
God.
God.
I had to take it somewhere.
Why
Jesus.
specifically Asian, Randy?
I don't know.
They got the
Ask
finest
him.
poops.
Asians don't poop.
Okay, we can
I
cut
thought
all of
women
this.
did.
No, it's not.
Asians don't
They're
poop.
just so nice and dainty all the time.
Okay, let's
North Koreans don't poop. I know that.
and clean cut. All right, so
We're back.
Hey,
Cooter
2020.
time is done.
so yeah, he's the cooter for sure.
Franzoni, I don't know that there's another candidate really.
No.
Yeah, I don't even want to
go.
go through them. It's just too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
Randy's getting stressed out.
I'm getting stressed out thinking that this is going into the world now.
Randy, you put
I just
it
want
on
people
us.
to enjoy this movie. That's all I
It's great.
want.
It's
Yeah.
a great movie.
We're not like we're obviously kind of razzing this shit, but we genuinely fucking enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite
Absolutely.
things.
It
really
is.
That's the thing.
so
We're making fun
enjoyable.
of it, but it's
Yeah.
because it's hilarious.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it a lot
Until the day.
I'm sure. Watch
And like
it till the
Andy
day
said, I hope
die.
Bigfoot is real and they find him and like they can be like, see, told you all fuckers. We were right.
I hope
I
so.
hope that's how it happens. I
I
kind of feel
hope
like
so,
he's out
too.
there.
Godspeed, Franzoni.
Yep.
Did you break your mic, Juice?
It's
Hello.
cool.
There you go. You're back.
I'm back.
You're back, bitch.
Godspeed, Franzoni, and may all your Christmases be bright.
I hope so. I hope he makes a Bigfoot documentary part 2.
Yeah, talking about how we're pieces of shit.
Dude,
I want to
hear
see
your
that.
That would be great.
Yeah, please do.
That would be
because that
great.
is both accurate and needed.
That'd make Andy feel a lot better.
It would. It would just ease my
Randy
Ew.
feels terrible right now. It's written on
do.
his face.
I kind of do.
Randy feels like shit. All right.
Shit on me.
Well, yeah,
Let's
that's
shit on this movie a little more just to make Randy feel worse.
That's Bigfoot Monster Mystery. I don't know. Yeah. Anything else we
5 star.
didn't talk about? I don't
No,
know.
we did
I,
it.
yeah, I gave it a 5-star for the love of
5.
God.
Yeah, you did.
It's a great movie.
All right, this is our first episode of 2020.
2020.
Setting
Yeah.
the
A new decade.
We don't have any voicemails because last time we recorded a show was like a couple hours ago. So if you want to call and leave us a voicemail, you can hit us up at 904-638-3231. We'll play those voicemails on the second episode to be released in 2020. Why don't you call in and give us your finest Bigfoot impersonation? We want to hear your growls.
Whoa.
Oh, I thought that was from Black Christmas.
We've
no, he
been
didn't say pussy ever. So
we've been told that it's impossible to replicate that.
yeah, let's
prove
see what
us
you got.
right.
Yeah,
Show me what you got.
let's see what you got. Give us your growls.
Give us your Bigfoot growl.
your big feet growling. Yeah, that's it. We're not. Bob's Blu-rays is done, man. We're not saving lives anymore.
Oh, Bob.
That's the end of that.
Bob
Your life is already
happier.
sacrificed
Bob has
to
the biggest grin on his face.
So stoked about this.
Look how big that grin
We'll
is.
never know how many
Just look.
Blu-rays Rob got in the first week of 2020.
Bob, he's off the leash now. Now he can buy whatever he wants.
I'm just running
He's
wild.
a free dog now.
I'm a free dog now.
Free dog night.
Rob, do you
Man.
think you'll ever consider purchasing a jet ski?
No, I don't ever want. I've never wanted one in my life.
Bob,
Ever.
What
Never.
happens when it floods?
Why did you have a whole segment about you wanting a jet ski?
Yeah, why did you
That is
talk
such
us
a good
into that?
question.
You had to talk us into that.
I made the segment. You're right.
We know,
You
and
should-
we're just so
Oh.
confused why you would make such a falsified segment.
Oh, gracious. 2020. This is how we're going into the new year. We're going to be
Everyone
back with
unsubscribe
another
now.
show. We're not 100% what we're talking about yet because
Because it's weeks away now.
yeah, it's a few weeks away and we haven't decided yet. So, when it gets a little bit closer to that being released, we'll make sure to let everybody know what we're going to be reviewing. We'll throw it up on our social media and all that stuff so you guys can watch it and get ready for that review. But it's a ways away.
Yep.
So hopefully you had a good new year. Nobody got their fingers blown off by any sort of bottle rockets or anything crazy like that.
All right, Dad.
incidents.
Jesus.
That's
Dad, I'm worried about my friend's digits. Okay,
All right.
I'm worried about them.
And what anuses they're going into.
That is correct.
Christ.
Don't
Probably
touch my
Bigfoots.
ass. So until next time, as always, all you mother truckers, please keep chilling.
It is very bizarre indeed.